All right. Hi, friends. We are week 1, day 3. I am back with some more math for you guys. I hope day 1 and day 2 were easy for you guys to catch on to, or something that was fun for you to learn and to try. Today we are going to continue the same thing with parts and shares. We are working on page 825. We are topic 15, lesson 2. So go ahead and get your packet out. It should look like this today. We are going to go ahead and get started. So if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video, get your packet ready. But I will go ahead and continue. And we are going to go ahead and just get started like we always do with our robot. Here we go.
You can divide shapes into halves and fourths. How could you describe this circle? This circle is divided into halves. How could you describe the yellow share of the circle? You could say the yellow share is 1 out of 2 equal shares. Half of the circle is yellow. This rectangle is divided into halves. How could you describe each share of the rectangle?
So we have a rectangle here and it is cut right in half. So if I wanted to say, describe to me the yellow part of the rectangle, well, you would say, you would look at the picture and you see the rectangle and we have 1, 2. We have 2 shares. The yellow is 1 of the share out of 2, which is half. So if I was to take this rectangle, take this little piece and fold it over to this side, it would be exactly half. It would match up perfect. So the yellow part would be 1 share out of 2, 1 of 2, or 1 half. And same thing for the green part.
You could say each share is 1 out of 2 equal shares. You could also say each share is half, or half of the rectangle. The shares are triangles. What could you do to check whether the 2 triangles are equal? You could see whether they match exactly. 2 of the halves make 1 whole rectangle. This circle is divided into fourths.
I'm going to go ahead and rewind us really fast. And here. So what he was saying when he says 2 of the halves make 1 whole, when I take this half right here and I join it together with this half, I get 1 big whole. So I take 1 half and I put it next to another half, and that equals 1 whole. Just like if I had 1 plus 1, I get 1 big number of 2, just like I have 2 parts.
This circle is divided into fourths, or quarters. 4 of the quarters make 1 whole circle. How could you describe the blue share of the circle?
So really fast, when we have a shape that is cut into 4 shares, that is called fourths or quarters. So it could be called a fourth or it could be called quarters. That just means that there's 4 altogether. So when someone says, oh, I have 1/4 of pizza, that just means there were 4 pieces of pizza and they ate 1. Okay, or I have 2/4 of a pizza. I had a pizza that had 4 slices and I ate 2. So fourths and quarters just means it has 4 total. So this one says, how could you describe the blue share of the circle? So here's 1 blue, and that's it. There's no other blues, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 shares and only 1 of them is blue. So the blue is 1/4.
You could say the blue share is 1 out of 4 equal shares, or 1/4 of the circle. 1/4 of the circle is blue.
So you can say 1 out of 4 equal shares, or you can say 1/4 of the circle, or 1/4, because remember it could also be fourths 4 quarters. So it's 1/4 out of 4 quarters. So if this was a quarter, this was a quarter, this was a quarter, and this was a quarter, only one of the quarters is blue.
How could you describe the whole rectangle? You could say 4 out of 4 equal shares make a whole rectangle. 1/4 or 1/4 of the rectangle is yellow. 1/4 or 1/4 of the rectangle is orange. What do you notice about the green shares of the rectangle?
What do you think?
They are half of the rectangle. Half of the rectangle is green. Does it matter that the green shares are not on the same side of the rectangle?
Let's see, do we think it matters that these two aren't next to each other? Can it still be half of the shape? Well, let's see, let's try it. So we had this, let me get this really fast. We had, this was our shape on the previous screen. Okay, that was our shape. It said 1/2, so it said 2 quarters were green, but they're not next to each other. Does that mean that the green doesn't make up half? What if I just move these and then I put it on the same side? Now it's easier to see that it makes up half, but I still have the same amount if this was up here. So I didn't change the amount of green that there was, I just moved it. So it doesn't matter if they're across from each other like this, or on top of each other like that, or next to each other, or diagonal. It doesn't matter because they're both still green. I didn't change the amount of green that there was, I just changed where they were sitting. So no, it doesn't matter where they are. They could be anywhere, but there's 2 greens. There's 2 parts that are green. That means that half of it is green.
No, because 2 of 4 equal shares of the rectangle are green. So half of the rectangle is green. What color is half of this circle? Select your answer.
So we have 1/4 is blue, 1/4 is yellow, and 2 quarters is orange. So what color covers half of my shape? Does yellow cover half of my shape? What about blue? Does blue cover half of my shape? What about orange? What if I moved this part over here? Would that be half of my shape? Yeah, so orange takes up half.
You could say the orange shares are 2 out of 4 equal shares, 2/4, or 2/4 of the circle. So half of the circle is orange.
Now you know about halves and fourths of shapes.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and get out our packets to get a little bit more work with this. Again, if you don't have your packet ready, just go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to keep going. We are working on number 3. That's what our page starts with today, is the number 3. It says color 1/2 red. So we have these 3 shapes and it wants us to color 1/2 red. So I'm going to take a red marker or red color pencil or a pen or a crayon, whatever you have is fine. If you need to go get colors, go ahead and go get some colors and pause the video. These are the colors that we're going to need today. So we have green, blue, red, and orange. So this first part, this first part is red. So color 1/2 red. So 1/2 of my circle, well, it doesn't say color the whole thing red, it just says half. So I'm going to go ahead and color this part half. I'm going to color it red. So I colored 1/2 red. Now, if I wanted, I could have colored this side and left this side blank. It doesn't matter which side you color. So now I have a rectangle that has 2 halves. It wants me to color one of those halves. So I'm going to go ahead and color one of those halves. And we are still coloring red because we're still on number 3. So now this time I did this side. I have one more for number 3, and it is this one. It has 4 little squares, but it wants me to color in half of those squares. So if I have 4 of them and it wants me to color in half, I should color in 2. So I'm going to go ahead and color in 2 of those squares. So here's half. I have half that are colored and half that aren't. And that is it for our red. So we're going to go ahead and put away our red markers or colors or whatever you're using. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to number 4. So number 4 is where it kind of gets a little bit tricky, but I know you guys are really smart and I know you guys are hard to trick. So I think you guys are going to crush this. So number 4 says color 1/4 orange. So I'm going to get my orange marker. So now remember when it says fourths, that means that the shape is already cut into 4 parts because it's fourths, which is why it sounds like we're saying number 4. But it says 1/4. So 1 out of the 4 we must color. So we have a shape right here that is cut into 4 parts, and I'm just going to color one of them orange. It doesn't matter which one, as long as you only color one. So I just colored 1 right there. And then same thing for this box. It just says 1/4 again. So I have 4 squares and I'm just going to pick one and I am just going to color one of them because it says 1/4. And then our last shape right here, a rectangle cut into 4 parts. And again, it just wants me to color one of those. So I'm just going to pick one. It doesn't matter which one. Any one you want, as long as you only do one. And that is it for our orange marker. We're going to go ahead and move on to number 5. This one says we are using green. Let me get my green marker. And this one says 1/4. Now don't let this word trick you. Okay, remember fourths and quarter are really similar words. So 1/4 or a fourth means the object is cut into 4 pieces. Same thing with a quarter. It's cut into 4 pieces. So it's just another way of saying 4 pieces. So it wants us to color 1/4 green. So that means we have 4 pieces and it wants me to color how many? Just 1. So I'm going to color one of these little rectangles green. Now I could have done the top one or the bottom one. It doesn't matter as long as you're only doing one. Now same thing here with this circle. It wants me to color 1/4 green. So I'm just going to color one of the quarters green. Again, we know what quarters mean. It's just a fancy way of saying fourths. And then we have our last shape here again, 1/4. So just one of our rectangles. Any one you want, as long as you only do one. Okay, number 6, it says we're going to color 1/2 blue. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do this one on your own when our video is over. So go ahead and cap your markers or put your crayons or colored pencils to the side. We are going to go ahead and move on to number 7. So number 7 is a little bit tricky, so I'm here to help you with it. Okay, number 7 says, Alex has 1/2 of an oatmeal bar. Jen has 1/4 of a different oatmeal bar. Jen's piece is bigger. How could Jen's piece be bigger? Use words or pictures to explain. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my box down here and I'm going to split it up. 1/2 is going to be Alex and the other half is going to be Jen. And I like to draw, so I think I'm going to do a picture. If you want to write, you can write instead, but I'm going to draw my picture. So right here on this side, I have Alex, and then I have Jen. So it says Alex has 1/2 of an oatmeal bar. So right under here, if you're not done, you can go ahead and pause the video. But underneath Alex, I'm going to go ahead and draw an oatmeal bar, because it says he has an oatmeal bar. So here's his oatmeal bar, what he's eating for breakfast. It says he has 1/2 of an oatmeal bar. So now I need to cut this bar right in half, and I need to color that he ate half of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut it in half, and then I am coloring the part that he ate. So here's his bar. He ate this half of it, and I colored it in to show that that part's gone. He ate it. Oh, can you guys see? Just like that. All right, now it says Jen has 1/4 of a different oatmeal bar, but this one's bigger. So I'm going to draw a really, really big oatmeal bar. It's going to be really long. It's going to be like the whole size of her arm. So now here's Jen's oatmeal bar. It says she has 1/4. Oh, there's that fancy word again. If something is split into quarters, how many pieces, how many shares does it have? There's that fancy word, quarters. How many does quarters have? Oh, 4. Quarter means 4. So I'm going to split Jen's bar up into 4, or quarters. So here we have 4. It says she only ate 1/4 though. So we have 4 quarters and she only ate 1. So I'm going to go ahead and color in 1. Just like that. So Jen's piece is bigger because her oatmeal bar was bigger. And that's what your picture should look like. So go ahead and pause the video if you need more time. I am going to go ahead and move on to our next page. I'm just going to do a couple with you. It does look like this. This page is a little bit more fun because it lets you color a lot, and you can color whatever color you want. So this one says color half. This means half. So it means 1 out of 2. So color 1 out of 2 of each shape. So each shape has 2 and it only wants you to color 1. So if I have this circle here, it has 2 spots or 2 shares. I'm only going to color 1 of those shares. So I'm going to go ahead and color 1. And I am using my blue marker, but you guys can use whatever color you want. That's what's going to make this page fun. Okay, so I colored 1 of the shares out of, we had 2 shares, and it wanted me to color 1 of 2 shares. And then I'm going to go ahead and do one more with you guys. I'm going to go down right here. This shape is cut into 2, and it again wants me to color 1 out of the 2 shares. So I'm going to color just 1 of them. And you guys can use a different color for each shape. That's fine. But just remember, we are only coloring 1/2. 1. So I have 1, 2. I'm only coloring 1. So you guys can go ahead and use the time to finish your worksheet, finish your coloring. Okay, I hope this video helped you guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye.